And another thing you could do with the VHS tape that was cool was you could record shows on it. That was awesome. I have over about 1,000 still in my bedroom. Yeah, we won't talk about that. And what sucked is after you watch the movie or whatever it's on it, you have to rewind. So when you go to Blockbuster videos, they would have on their cases, "Be kind, rewind." And a lot of people wouldn't because they're lazy or rude. And you could get those little VCR devices that you can't watch anything on, but you can pop in a VHS tape, and my grandpa had one, and you could rewind the tape. And it was really cool. And yes, you can accidentally record over your shows, but on a DVD, when you do it on a DVD, you couldn't. So that's what sucked, because I did that a lot, and I was pissed a lot, and I couldn't get it back. And number 3 is photography, developing film. People won't know what this is. What am I using right now? A camera. Duh. It's a digital camera. Now, they may not know what the film inside the camera was back in the day. We have to take it, go to Walmart or Kmart, get it developed. You can do the 1 hour, or you can wait a week and get it developed and get 2 copies. And then you get negatives. Yeah, kids probably don't know what that is. Because I remember that's what the film is. And I remember I was on Discord one time, and I told my friend that I was working on negatives, and they're like, "What's a negative?" And I had to explain it to them, and I'm like, "Are you serious? I do not know what a negative is." Because if you take photography, you know what it is, because they teach you that in photography. Even if... See, I want to know if anybody's taking photography now these days, and do they still have you use these to take your pictures, and so you can see how the developing process works? Or do they let you use your digital cameras and teach you? Like, I want to know, because back when I took photography, it was this way, and I had to be in a dark room and stuff. See, there's these type of old cameras. There's different kinds of cameras. There's 50 million different kinds of cameras. Go to a thrift store, a Goodwill store, or a Savers, and there'd be old cameras just lying around. There's another version. They'd be lying around all over the place. Just look at them. Just look at them. There's an SLR camera I have that you have to do in a dark room to put the film in, where it ruins the first shot, and you just got to look at them. They're fun to look at, but not to buy and use, of course, because you probably can't even find film anymore for those type of cameras. So I don't know. So kids know what a camera is, they just don't know what the film is. Part of it is. And the bad part about the camera was you only would take like 1 or 2 of the pictures from the camera, and you hope and pray that it comes out. But if the good part is, there's a bad part and a good part. But the good part is, if you don't like the picture you took, you can give it to them, and you don't have to pay for them. They will take that picture and throw it in the trash, tear it up and throw it in the trash, if they have no use for it. And then they will take off a few cents off your, usually it's $5 to $6 for a whole roll of 24, and they would knock some change off just so you wouldn't have to pay for it. I would just get them all no matter what, because what's the point? But you can get doubles, and you can get threes if you want, but I only got doubles. So I can give the other one to a friend or my family or whatever's. So that's pretty cool. But what I hated was you take a picture of something and then you hope it comes out good because you can't see it. But number 2 is dial-up internet access. They were talking about dial-up, where you had to take your internet cord, plug it into your phone, so you could not use your phone while on the internet, and if someone picks up the phone and turns it on, then it disconnects you from the internet, and it was so freaking annoying. I don't know how many, now a lot of people wouldn't know what that is, and people would get so pissed. Like, I remember my dad getting so pissed that I was on the computer too much, and he was trying to call home, and I was on it too much. And he had to get a cell phone, big, bulky, thick cell phone to use or to call out because we used it. Or if my phone gets off the receiver, he'd get all pissy. Because you just disconnected my internet. I was playing a game. I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, geez, Dad, chillax. So a lot of people don't know what the internet is. The dial-up internet was. But it was slow. It was annoying. And it was no fun. But it's all we had at the time. So see, this is what it looked like on dial-up. They did do some honorable mentions, like the typewriter. And yes, I used a typewriter. Yes, I hated it. Because if you messed up on a typewriter, then you'd have to white it out and start over. You either have to start over, or you had to white it out, and then you could use it. Let me see if I can get you that's what a typewriter looks like. And so yeah, a lot of people wouldn't know what a typewriter is. See, that's what it looks like when it typed. The next one that's an honorable mention is Game Boys. Any game nerd knows what a Game Boy is. Sorry. But if you're not a game nerd, yeah, you wouldn't know. And that is a Game Boy, and I had that version of the Game Boy. Most people would know the flat ones, the colored ones, the Pokemon ones, so a lot would know about the thick version, but yeah, I had the thick version. Still have it today. It just doesn't work. It's finally broken. Fax machines. Yes. People still use fax machines these days. So fax machines are still around. So yes, people know what a fax machine is. So nice try. If you don't, then where you living? Because people know what a fax machine is. CDs and DVDs, storage binders. That's the wrong-go. People know what a DVD and a CD is and the storage binders are because they're still used today. Because people still buy them because they want the physical media and they need a place to store them. But after they take the CD and put it into their computer to put on their iTunes, to put on their iPods, they don't need them anymore. DVDs, yes. People still like the DVDs to place in their DVD players, so that's still a thing. That's still a thing. I'm sick and tired of people saying it's not a thing anymore. It is, because you can still go to Walmart, Target, wherever, and buy them. It's like having a Blu-ray. Floppy disks. Okay, that's a good one. A lot of people don't know what a floppy disk is. Floppy disk is one of those. There's two different versions. The first version is the Apple one where it's big and huge and it actually flops. Then the second one is a smaller version that is hard, and I have about 100 to maybe 200 of those. I have a milk crate full of those, and a dresser drawer, one dresser drawer filled with floppy disks. I got all the material off of them before my XP computer, Windows XP computer broke, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. But still, I use them like crazy. We had them in school, always. Let me see if they show you what a floppy disk is. Let's see if they show you. Back in the early, when it first came out, they had this device, and you'd put this is the floppy one that I told you about that was flimsy, and you could actually flop it. That you could put in there, and we would play games on there. But then later on, in the 90s, this was like mid-80s, mid-90s, and then in the late 90s, they had the smaller ones, and it was attached to the computer parts. Hope they show that one. Here's the smaller version, the hardback version that they're showing you. That also works as a floppy. See how it goes with the computer this time? Yeah. Look how old the computer is. Woo! But now we use stuff like this, which is USB stick, memory cards, SD cards, things like that. And CDs. Data discs, I should say. They asked what other devices you think kids wouldn't know what one is. Record players, maybe? They didn't talk about that. Record players. They only sell records at thrift stores, so if you go to a thrift store like Goodwill or Savers, then maybe you would know what one is, or Salvation Army. But if you don't, then you wouldn't know about records. But yeah, records used to be a thing too. So I'm going to go in the comments here and see if there's any technology they're talking about that kids may not know about, and we'll be right back. Okay, this person said, phone books are still around in 2018. True. Pagers are still around. Look at police, lawyers, and medical fields. I still have film camera. Fax machine are still around. Fax machines are, you're wrong about police, lawyers, and medical fields. They have cell phones, and they would get a text, or they would get, because I remember in general hospital they used a beeper, and they would take it out, their pager or beeper, and go, oh, gotta go, they need me at the hospital, whatever. Now they got cell phones, so they can just call them and say, or text them and say, hey, we need you at the hospital. Boom, they're there. So that's not true.